It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, and it's coming up next.
Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said, the key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
The kicker, Ramiz Ahmed, ready to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Hurts going to keep it running right.
That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it. Most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Hurts.
There's a short one caught by Uzama. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be fourth down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on third down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
On fourth down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
Back deep here, Jamison Crowder. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
So here is Washington now backed up a bit to start their first drive. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Daniels. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Daniels looking to throw.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Fielded at the 33. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's complete to Brown, right side. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Finding space at the 40. Terry McLaurin powering his way forward. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin taking it in. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Extra point attempt to come here.
And the kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That one complete down the field to Smith.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
And this is how you answer a touchdown the other end. You come out throwing to start your own drive. And not just throwing, but pushing it down the field. And they come up with a big play as they try to answer back with a score of their own.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Hurts sets up to throw it. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Up the middle with Barkley.
And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. It's 24.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Here's Daniels. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. First kick 47. This one looks good as well. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing is Hurts. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Now Hurts on the option right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders' offense and Terry McLaurin headed back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this 1st half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the 1st half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
To throw is Daniels.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Throw right side complete to Dotson.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Up the middle with Eckler. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And that's complete to McCaffrey. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now 2nd and 9. To the air goes Daniels.
On the catch, it's Crowder. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Back to throw again.
That is caught. Touchdown.
Jamison Crowder, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays.
And it was all capped off on the touchdown reception by Jamison Crowder.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Smith in motion right. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. This one goes out wide for Barkley. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second down and 8. Now back to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. He's got it at the 15. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. The kick by Elliott is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The Commanders got a strong first half out of their quarterback, Jaden Daniels. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Commanders offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and a yard.
Back to throw. Daniels. Forced out to his, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
Milton Williams able to collapse the pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
Throwing now is Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw? Extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Daniels looking to throw. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And not much room there, so get it up only to about the 21. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Hurts.
That's caught by his tight end, Uzoma. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Commanders Field.
It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 12-yard line.
Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
4 yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. A handoff to Barkley on the option.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Eagles have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for two.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with a lead if they make a play.
But he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it. Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's Daniels.
Dancing to his left. And he will slide down with a good gain. They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down, makes it manageable now.
Now Daniels.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looks like you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on third, and then the tables turned.
They'll motion McLaurin left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. All right, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
It's getting cold in here, partner, because it looks like he's trying to ice this one away. Yeah, I know, bad dad joke, but what the heck, right? Scrambling for that first after the deep blanket his receivers. That's a backbreaker for the defense. They finish this drive off with 6, and this one could be over.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Eckler now between the tackles. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And his rough afternoon continues. Look at the clock, late 4th quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leak. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that. I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair, low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered a loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.